5 most common ways people fail their driving tests. Hi, my name is Haytham and I've been a driving instructor here in Perth, Western Australia for more than a decade. And in this video, I'm going to break down what are some of the most common ways that people fail their driving tests. So let's look into the first one, and that is the stop sign, the infamous stop sign. It sounds pretty simple. It's a sign that's asking you to stop. But from experience, looking at how people actually manage to stuff it up is basically they start looking before they even get to the stop sign. So they're heading towards it and they're doing this. Oh, yep, nothing. They just end up going. Or they see a nice gap in traffic and then they end up going. And would you know it, they're all past the stop sign. How do we go on about fixing this? It's pretty simple. I just tell people not to even look at the traffic. Don't even look at them. Come in, stop your car, actually feel your car actually coming to a stop. That way the examiner can't say you didn't stop. Yeah, come to a stop and only then check the traffic. And then once that's all good, yeah, free to go for it. There's no such thing as stopping for 3 seconds and, counting time and all that jazz. No, just come to a stop. Your car did stop, looked, go. Yeah, simple, problem solved. And try not to only do this only for the driving test. We want you to do this for life, because not stopping at a stop sign is between $200 to $300 fine in Perth, Western Australia. So make sure you do come to a stop. Moving on, and the next one we have is speeding, guys. And that's very, very common. So try not to speed. I must say it's actually quite easy to speed in a driving test. And law in black and white says that anything over the speed limit is a straightaway fail, right? Now, having said that, there's a little bit of leniency that's applied by the examiner depending on the situation. And by the situation here, I mean the way you're driving on the day. Let's say you did everything correctly, you've done everything well, didn't make, massive mistakes or anything like that, and you happen to have sped just slightly over the speed limit, between 0 to 5 k's over. And then while doing that, you quickly realize that you're over the speed limit and you quickly brought it down. Now, chances are they might let it slide, and the key word here is might. So based on how you're driving, if they decide, okay, hang on, we're not going to let this one slide and we're going to call it a fail, by all means, the law allows them to do that. In fact, the law actually backs them up on that. Now, how do we go on about it? That's the question I always get asked by everybody. How do we get on top of speed? And guys, it takes a little bit of practice, and how we do it is, believe it or not, is just constant checks on the speed. By constant checks, I mean doing a lot of micro checks as you're driving. Now, be very careful here. We don't want to let the little micro checks be the main concern and taking our eyes off the road. Yeah. So you just want a quick one, just you're looking there, quick look down, just to see if you're on top of it or not. And if you're over, obviously bring it down. If you're lower, bring it up. But that can only be done by just lots of micro checks. After you get your license and you drive for say 1 to maybe 3-4 years after you get your license, you will know what 50 feels like. You will know what that 70 or 80 k's an hour feels like. And you will automatically sense that you're over the speed limit. And that's the sort of level we're aiming towards. And that can only be done with more practice. So guys, be patient and you'll get there. Right, so this brings me to my third point, and that is actually pulling up in front of traffic. Believe it or not, that can actually fail you depending on how you do it. So let's look into how not to do it. So you pulled up in front of traffic and that person there had to slow down for you. Yeah. So if you cause the traffic to slow down for you, that is a fail. And the reason why that's a fail is because it counts as if you didn't give way. Yeah. Because if you gave way, they wouldn't slow down. So I'll let that sink in for a second. If you gave them way, they wouldn't slow down. But because you pulled up and they had to slow down for you, you didn't give way, and not giving way is breaking the law. So that is a fail. Now, how I'd like to deal with this is basically get my students to look at how far the car is and gauge how fast it's moving and make a decision and ask yourself, if you actually went, would you slow them down? Yeah, if the answer is yes, hey, wait a bit longer. We're happy for it to take a bit longer, rather than just pulling up, rushing it, and then causing everyone to slow down for us. Now, this brings me to my fourth point, guys, and that is looking, right? Making sure you check the rear view mirror as you're driving. We want to check it every 30 seconds. I know the law says every 12.5 seconds you need to check, but I recommend every 30 seconds because you don't want to be doing this all the time as you're driving. Yeah, every 30 seconds is about the sweet spot. So making sure you do regular checks. The main aim of it is to actually for you to prove to us that you know what's happening behind you. It demonstrates awareness, and it's very important. I mean, I can guarantee you after you get your license, you'll be doing it without even thinking. You will just be checking to see who's actually behind you. So if you're going to do it, why not do it now for the driving test? So we want it checked every 30 seconds, guys. That top mirror, every 30 seconds. Now, on top of that, you want to be checking, especially before you want to hit the brakes. So it's check the mirror, then start braking. Very important. And I would like to add on top of that, and that is actually while the car is slowing down, while you're using your brakes to slow down, check a second time. And the reason why I like to check that one more time is just to make sure that person there better be slowing down, especially in nowadays where mobile phone use is on the rise, where people are distracted. You could have a distracted driver behind you, and if they just ram into you, it's not good. You check to make sure they're slowing down, and if they're not, you got to toot the horn, give them some warning. So make sure we do that. So checking before braking, during braking, and in general as you're driving, we want you to check every 30 seconds. Now this brings me to my fifth and final way that people can fail their driving test, and that is showing up in a car that's not roadworthy. Now there's two ways to do a driving test here in Perth. One is to use your own personal car, and the second is to use a driving school car. Now the examiner is not fussed as to which car you bring in on the day. Just make sure, now if you were to bring in your car, make sure that it is registered. Believe it or not, so many people show up with a car that's not even registered, or their rego just ran out about a few days ago, and now then they're forced to actually pay it on the spot, and it just gets ugly. So make sure car is registered. Make sure your indicators, the front and back indicators, are working, because that's the first thing they're going to check. They're going to stand outside your car and they'll ask you to start indicating right and left. Now making sure also your brake lights are working. So when you press the brake and when you push the brake pedal down, make sure that red lights are behind are actually on. The brake lights are working. Okay. Now making sure also your brake pedal is not bald. And if it's bold, just change the rubber padding on the brakes. So all your pedals down there where you're using, whether you're pressing with your foot, make sure the rubbers are, that they're not bold. Because if they're bold, they can say, okay, no, it's not safe, it's going to slip. Making sure the sun visor on the passenger side is actually on and in working order. Making sure that the windows are in working order. They can, roll up and down. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, most important, making sure your handbrake is centrally located. Now, it doesn't have to be like a physical handbrake. It can be an electric or push button handbrake. As long as it's centrally located, that's fine. As long as they can reach to it when they need it, that's fine. So what I've covered, guys, is just the tip of the iceberg of what can fail you in a driving test. Yeah, so if you enjoyed the content that I've covered so far, I do happen to run a weekly session on Zoom where I go more in depth into not only what can fail you in a test, but also how the marking system or the marking structure works in a driving test. Yeah, and because I see so many students just winging it there and just hoping for the best. So if you want more insight about it, just reach out to me. My information is in the description below. You can reach out to me via Instagram or via text message, and and I will make sure I get you booked in for that weekly session. And I look forward to hearing from you. And if you also liked what you saw, again, give us a like and a thumbs up on YouTube.